Hello, and welcome to the Steve and Mark Discuss podcast, where Steve has heard about something in the media or seen something, and he's brought it for us to have a brief 10-15 minute discussion over. So, over to Steve.
Hi, people. So, this story comes out of Time magazine. A journalist wrote an article after interviewing people close to Zelenskyy, and they came to the conclusion that Zelenskyy is delusional, and also off the record they said that everybody, all the higher ups in the Ukrainian government, are stealing money hand over fists like there's no tomorrow. So you've got the poor soldiers on the ground who are all despondent. They aren't, the average age of a soldier is 43 years old. And they're running out of men. They're running out of men in the Ukraine to send them off to war. The Russians said that they captured a Ukrainian soldier, 71 years old. 71.
Hmm.
That's food for thought. And even some of the generals now, as I understand it, they aren't taking orders from Zelenskyy. If they think it's just ridiculous what Zelenskyy, in his delusional state, is asking them to do, or ordering them to do in this case. And over the last 24 hours, a Ukrainian colonel said that the Ukraine and Russia are in a stalemate. They're both, nobody can move. That's the first thing, because it's the winter's coming on, and the wetlands, they just, you can't maneuver on them. So everybody's hunkered down in their particular trenches. So it's a little bit like a First World War scenario, where you got them just lifting the head above the parapet, and might get a bullet or two.
Yeah.
So we have this coupled with Israel taking the limelight out off of Ukraine. You take this with also countries that don't have any more economical help for Ukraine, because they themselves are dragging themselves down further and further. I speak, of course, about Germany. I speak about Italy. I speak about some Eastern Bloc countries, Poland. And they, so it looks to be what I said around about a couple of months ago. The war's not going to go any further. They're gonna have to come to some sort of gentleman's agreement. And as Putin said yesterday, he said Zelenskyy, he needs to be taken care of in a good way. He needs to be protected, because he knows, and I know, and Putin knows, that after this war is over, Zelenskyy can't stay in the Ukraine.
No.
He'll die. And I think the favourite, I thought when I heard about the rumours of his mother-in-law buying a mansion in Egypt, perhaps he'd go to Egypt. But I think that it's a good possibility that he'll just nip across the border and go to Russia, and Putin will give him a permanency visa so he can stay in Russia.
Also, yeah, I mean, that would be yeah, as incredible as it sounds. Yeah, yeah, keep the guy close because he's hardly a at that point he's hardly a threat. He isn't going to be able to raise anything around. Yeah, I mean, is the guy delusional? I mean, we've got to look at his background. I mean, he was an actor, stroke entertainer. We know a certain former president of the US, could be again soon, was also them things, but he'd also had experience of being a chief executive of a company. So, as far as I know, Zelenskyy hasn't been. We've all got an opinion of how the current form of the administration got to its situation it is now. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he is. You look at the guy, and I'm not being funny. I mean, okay, we all can go into politics and all that. The guy is out of his depth. I mean, he probably didn't expect when he went into politics what's happening now to him. The trouble is, yeah, politicians are not army generals, as anyone would tell you. I mean, we had one many years ago called Winston Churchill, who still made some very, very strange decisions, trying to sell to I believe, yeah, trying to sell to Istanbul across land or something was one of them. I seem to remember, or Gallipoli. Yeah, they do make strange decisions. There's no perfect war, no perfect battle plan. We've got to remember the charge of the Light Brigade. There are your guns, sir. Go get. Well, how? Just go and get them. I don't know, sort of thing almost. And that was army. That was the commissioned officers. Oh, I don't know. What are you asking me? It's your job. Yeah, the expectations probably Zelenskyy has. He's on home ground. He probably thinks home advantage. I mean, it's a stalemate. I feel at best what's happening there. How come the Russians haven't taken it all? How come they haven't been driven back to Russia? That's the question you've got to ask yourself. It's possibly they're both stretched. I don't know.
I don't think Russia's gone any further because Russia doesn't want to.
Yeah, well, we know
it doesn't want to. It just wants that. It just wants that eastern.
Yeah, I mean
eastern region.
I mean, yeah, I mean the reason he attacked other parts of Ukraine, like Kiev, was to say, yeah, we can do this. I mean, yeah, it does strike me Ukrainians having little drone attacks on mainland Russia. But that's all it is. They've been taken out. I mean, Russia will develop a way of stopping that happening if they particularly want. It plays into their hands. It's happening at the moment.
Which is why I say, Russia. I don't think Russia is stretched. I just think they're just containing the little boy who's, screaming and flailing his arms about.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's ironic that at the moment, tension's gone elsewhere. Yeah, we'd all quite forgotten about that little bit of a territorial land dispute down there.
Zelensky's got his dummy back in.
Yeah.
So he's not shouting and squeaking as much.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
And Putin, is just keeping everything contained.
Yeah.
As far as I can see.
Well, Putin is the ultimate cold warrior. He doesn't care how many people die or who dies, Russian or Ukrainian or anyone else. And that's I mean, yeah, he has actually given opinions about what he feels about what's happening in the Middle East. As far as I know, I haven't heard much from Zelenskyy with that. I mean, obviously, he's for other reasons he's got a bit of a problem.
Zelenskyy is going to go to Israel to meet Netanyahu.
Well, of course he is.
But I just don't know what he's going to say to him.
Well, can you give me a home, please?
Stop stealing my money.
Yeah, yeah. It's a yeah. I mean, yeah, it's an interesting scenario what's happened. All right, okay, I mean, yeah, we talk about it coldly. Obviously, it's interesting. It's a bit of a land grab. Everything else in our cold armchair general political way we do things. We're podcasters, we're not on the ground anywhere. We're amateur podcasters at that. We don't make any money doing it. We do it for the fun of it. But yes, I mean, obviously, our attention has gone elsewhere, away from Mr. Zelenskyy and Mr. Putin, because we are seeing what could lead into a much wider escalation, WW3, which is, I don't know about you, I'm a little bit more concerned about that from a personal level, disregardless of where I happen to be living. That's not so, I mean, yeah.
Going back across to Israel.
Yeah.
Just to bring up a subject that I touched on a couple of days ago, or a week or so ago, where I said that Colonel McGregor said that some special forces went into Gaza.
Yeah.
The US admitted, I think it was the day before yesterday, that they sent drones into Gaza to do reconnaissance and send the information to the Israeli forces on the ground. Well, I've never thought that any army would send drones on reconnaissance. They'd have their own men on the ground to receive the information. I'm sure about this, but as we're dealing with special forces,
yeah,
where you're not allowed to know where the special forces are going, you know, that's why nobody's talking about it. But
well,
I'm surprised that the US admitted sending drones across in the initial stages of the attack on Gaza by Israel.
Probably Israeli designed and manufactured drones in the first place, but yeah, let's. But yeah, it's just the US would have the more the capabilities to operate them. They don't even need to be in Israel to do it. They're operating it from somewhere in the US, not the Pentagon. They've got places apparently they operate them from. It's I mean, again, I'm going to. Yeah, I've not heard this before, but yeah, I'm going to put it on there. That could be on a little bit more on the humanitarian front. Is the Americans maybe feeding information to the Israelis where they would rather they didn't drop the fireworks because of population. Because the US at the moment are walking a line between everyone. They have to support Israel, even if it's through gritted teeth a little bit. Everyone's trying to prevent civilian casualties. I mean, Israel's objective, as we just said in the previous podcast, it's to destroy Hamas. Basically, that's their objective. That's a military objective, to destroy what they see or what is a terrorist group. They do not want to wipe out Palestinians. It's not good PR. It's not actually, it probably wouldn't be very good PR even back in Israel to see too many children dragged out of the rubble, alive or dead. Let's be honest about it. So everybody's trying to reduce collateral damage. Whatever Hamas might be doing to prevent civilians leaving, apparently. Again, we're getting reports on the ground and from the ground about different things happening. The Israelis are going in with troops and with as much intel as possible to prevent civilian casualties. So I think this could be all part of it. So whilst you might say the US are siding with one side, well, yeah, they're siding one side to stop inevitable things happening. Or, there'll be a lot to come out about this. Don't forget, I mean, there's a lot of capabilities already shared probably between Israel and US